You know what? Here, I have. Since I have the opportunity to try to break news, why don't we? Why don't we break some news here on the program? I need an update,
No?
and I know you guys probably want an update. Hello.
Well, hello there, Aaron M. Holt.
Hi, Keanu C. Thompson of Keanu Thompson YouTube and at Keanu C. Thompson on Twitter if you guys want to see some spicy shit. Uh, we were just talking about the text you released. I want to let you know that I have, as someone who had a whole festival thrown about their text messages and pictures, I have no problem with what you're doing, mostly because, you were called a liar. Nick has been lying openly about this very subject, and you have the documentation and the evidence. I think if Nick really cared about this person, and by the way, I don't know if you agree, but during that 5-1 in which everyone's saying you won and you did,
I did.
Did you notice that Nick doesn't really love anyone, but he will use their emotions as a shield for himself?
How so? Use their emotions as a
when he said to you, and he goes, "You took someone I loved and you tore them apart." He doesn't care. He tore them apart as evidenced by your texts, but he knows that'll make him look better, so he tries to use it.
He just released some weird. He's been doing. He has not left his keyboard since Friday. I mean, he has not stopped, and he's releasing messages and things or whatever. You want to go toe to toe with me and play that game? I have documentation and proof. So he's going off on this clip that our clip guy clipped of my show last night, and then he's going. He said one thing and I disproved it. So sorry, you want to play this game? I'm not going to have a festival of text messages, but I'm sorry. This is what it is. And I don't want to exactly. They can all go and look. I don't want to give the context of it, but it's right there on Twitter. And you know what? So either A, he was lying to April, or B, he was lying to the other person. So
now, Keanu, you have that's not the only communiques you have that would expose Nick as a liar, I would assume.
Oh, are you kidding? No, it's not. And it's but if anything, and he's a liar. He's lying to everyone in his life, his entire fan base, and just keep calling me a dumb bitch, and I will just keep making you look like a dumb bitch because you are one. So it's fine.
Honestly, people saying you doing this, you doing that, talking about April, blah, blah, blah. I think there's a couple things here. Number one, you didn't let it out where she lived. Kiwi Farms found it out because they posted the things of the house for sale. But also, I want to point this out. It's not getting talked about because I keep getting told I won, but I didn't get to be involved at all. And so let me, I'm feeling left out. I said after they got arrested that when April got her stuff from here, she brought it to that house. So it wasn't a secret.
It was 100% public knowledge, and that's just the long and short of it. They just can't stand that I exposed him for the liar, narcissist that he is, and you can tell by the way that he reacted to me, and that's that. So keep going, Patty Melty, you hunchback loser, and Moody, you condescending misogynist, and whomever else. That's fine. Keep on going, but hitch your wagon to Nick some more. It's not going to be a good look for you. I'm sorry. Absolutely. They brought her in to pull at my heartstrings and trigger me and ask me why I didn't warn enough women about Jason Scoop. I'm sorry. What is warning women other than talking to the New York Post about it and the Daily Mail? Was that not warning enough women? Furthermore, on their stupid, pretty antisocial slob show, because they're both slobs, I did an episode about this last night. Keanu C. Thompson.
Keanu C. Thompson on YouTube.
Take a look there. Yeah, Keanu C. Thompson on YouTube. They, in a previous episode, when the New York Post article came out about my abuse, they questioned why I came out about it, and questioned the timing of it and why I did it. And as if I haven't been talking about it for years. Just because now you know about it doesn't mean I haven't always been talking about it. And then she comes right in there, Jackie, that stupid, like, evil. At this point, I just think they're evil. That stupid, evil bitch coming in there. And yes, you know what? I'm not going to be ashamed of getting a little misty-eyed when she comes in to trigger me and ask me about Jason Scoop, who mercilessly abused me for years and broke my wrist. Like, of course I got a little misty-eyed, but the real problem is just asking me, well, did you try? Why didn't you try and warn any other women? And again, I'll reiterate, I told the New York Post about it, and you said that that was a bad thing to do. And you questioned my timing on it. So those two can eat shit too.
So, Keanu, I'm going to be self-serving for a moment here before I then plug your stuff and ask you more questions. I know it's not. It's a terrible look, but if I may, you were the last person out of all these people yelling and screaming at you to actually talk to April. If I may do a quick comparison, and I know comparing yourself to Nick is a pretty low bar. What's the last thing April said to you about me being abusive?
Oh, you mean, are you talking about that was not the case. There you go. It simply put, that wasn't the case.
All right. So I was not abusive to April. What's the last thing April said to you? What's the last thing April said to you about Nick being abusive?
Oh, that she was emotionally abused by Nick, and then, as you saw, right, he's going to leave his situation, and right, exactly. So there you go.
Bravo.
Right.
So then, also, you have now. You're saying, just to be clear for the people just tuning in, you do have plenty more text messages.
Yes, but it's not something I want to do.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah, but if he's going to, I said, you know what? Once and for all, just keep it. I think it'll help Nick in the long run. If you know that he knows he's been lying to everyone in his life for so long. If you want to just take a break from your keyboard, focus on your family, and stop lying, okay? Because I'll just keep on contradicting what your lies if you would like for me to, or you know, there's one or the other. But I think that what I tweeted in response to him tweeting at me for 72 hours, I think that pretty much puts that to rest. So
you're saying if he drops the lying and the bullshit and the you stupid bitch and you don't feel the need to release any more of these. But if he continues to lie and you need to set the record straight, that would be the situation in which you would do it.
Anytime I can set the record straight, I will, because it's for his own good. He needs to take a step back, lay off the keyboard, you know, insanity.
Well, Keanu, in fairness, he should lay off the keyboard and the keyboard cleaner.
Yeah. Absolutely. When a problem comes along, you must whip it. No, you must not.
Did you see Jesse P.S.'s show title for Pod Awful last night?
I swear to God, I watched the whole thing. I was screaming laughing.
He's a funny guy. He's really funny.
He is. Listen, I'll be honest, right? Of course he's going to be like, she's just a stupid idiot, but she did win. And that's fine. The boy run media will tell you that I just like haphazardly like, and then I didn't know what I was doing. But hey, when you have the facts and the truth on your side, then that's what makes people angry when they're, just gaslighting me.
And that's kind of been my thing and why I'm able to laugh at all this stuff, because I'm like, look, you've heard my story. It ain't changed. It's been true. And as time goes on and Nick keeps running around in circles trying to put out these fires, he ends up confirming a lot of the things that I've been saying. So it's like, I understand how you feel. It's like, let people say what they want. Let them make fun. That's great, because you keep racking up wins and people keep saying, oh, they haven't been full of shit. They've been telling it like it is.
Right. I just love to think that, alleged PDF files, Patrick Melton, he must just be shitting his pants too. Like, whoa, why did I platform? Not that, well, actually, I guess he's looking for Nick to platform him. But you know what? I think his platform's dwindling, and
Well, did you
maybe
see
they all deserve each other, or else they could do better. Maybe. I don't know.
Carl wouldn't host his show today. He had a show he was supposed to do. He wouldn't host it. I think he's a little embarrassed of the fact that, there are times where people have to dig their feet in and they have to pick a side when it's like friends, quote unquote. And in my opinion, I know you guys have no animosity with Carl. I don't either. I know he has to cover me because if he doesn't have somebody, he'll lose money. I get it. I understand. I get the business. But like with you guys, he claims to be friends, and maybe he and I do friendship differently. But if I'm on a show with someone and they're being gone after the way you were, and you don't step in to like go, hey, you guys are kind of being unfair and you're getting your asses kicked here, like you're kind of being a punk bitch, in my opinion.
I'll say this: I've talked to Carl. He is a friend of mine. And he, I won't say what we said other than how I said it to him. I said, it's okay. You didn't, I guess, defend me as much as you probably could have, at least with the, stupid, all that stuff, at least with that. But if he had defended me more, then it wouldn't have even been, it would have lessened my enormous win against those freaks.
That's a good point. But
I'm perfectly fine with it.
Here's where I'd say he's a little full of shit on that. He'll be right back on that show next week laughing along. He has no guts.
I think
in that
maybe
regard.
maybe he'll think about it and be like, you know what, this might not be the right group of people for me, because he is a good dude and I like Carl, and I think he more felt like maybe I should just stay out of this and let them go, let them whatever. But and that's fine. You know what, as to the best of my ability, I handled myself. I stayed calm, and I just presented them with facts, ripped off that narcissistic mask, and Nick Rekieta looks like a complete and utter fool and asshole. So mission accomplished. But
we all look forward to see where this is going to go from here. I would say if Nick ever really cared about anybody that he's talking about, he would shut the about you and stop lying. He would stop lying because he's putting this person through more. But I don't I don't think he's capable, and you have all the receipts.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Because he's still like posting like other weird messages, and again I say they have no qualms about having an entire festival of messages. Aaron, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Where was their permission to share your photos at their festival of incels? They didn't have it, did they? And they really didn't have April.
No, so. They didn't have my consent to show those. Although a bunch of like really badly out of shape men showing my dad bod doesn't exactly upset me.
No, it was fine. It doesn't upset you, of course. But yes, they wanted to like, well, she's sharing. And typically, yes, when it makes a point, and again, as long as April's out of there, then I'm happy.
Well, and you might be. He can make you feel guilty all he wants about releasing this stuff, but it was these conversations that probably helped her have the strength to move on.
Yeah.
You were
a lot of them.
You were her only contact with the outside world. She had a little contact with me after we settled our phone plan nonsense, and after we had a nice back and forth. That was the last time we ever communicated, was December, January. After that, magically I got blocked on Twitter.
Right. And that's why Nick is so angry, because when I said that when our last interaction was, it was way after the date that he, I guess, maybe she was hiding it from him that she was talking to me. But the woman needed, yes, you're right, absolute, complete, alienated from contact from the outside world. I talked to her a lot, and it wasn't good. So say whatever you want, but I'm praying that that she's actually out of there, and I know she is, obviously, right? I mean, I don't think she's living with. Also, Nick revealing that he moved her in with his parents.
Oh my God!
Right, I know she's away from them. I'm hoping that she doesn't have any contact with Nick and is moving on with her life, because she's strong and smart and beautiful gal.
Not only did Nick admit that, but remember, Nick, his hypocrisy knowing no bounds, tells you, I thought one of Nick's greatest hypocrisies was him going, yeah, April had to get away from all the internet stuff. That's why I leaned on my cuck fridge and showed a bunch of stories I forced her to make up about Aaron.
Absolutely, right? That's what I like. The hypocrisy is unbelievable, but they just need to accept their loss, and they really just need to do better. And if I were the nobody likes onions, I think they should all part ways and maybe talk about start a food podcast or something.
They can't though, because without me, there's no money.
That's true. They can't do it.
They can't do it.
Right?
They are eternally, hopelessly, even if you can say probably Carl and all these other people probably want to shift away from this now. They can't, or Patrick Melton can't pay his bills.
Do you think Fatty Melty Poo scolded Carl for sending me the link?
He is a sensitive guy. I wonder.
Yeah, I wonder, because Patrick Melton would never let me come on there and tell the truth because he knows I'm right. So because they don't like their narrative disrupted. Yeah. But Carl is a friend of mine. He's like, oh yeah, I sent Keanu the link. I'm like, oh, they don't know what the they're in for, but he couldn't take it back. Yeah. He could not let me on. So, and look what happened.
So, well, on my phone, because I checked everything once I got to the airport when vacation was over, I got a DM during that show when you were on.
Key West?
From lovely Clearwater Beach. I tricked everybody.
I know.
But I got a DM from Tukey, and he sent me the link, and he goes, why don't you come on? And I think he maybe wanted to try and deflect some of the heat that you were giving them. And
Tukey sent you the link?
Tukey sent me the link, and I wanted to write back to him, but I didn't. I wanted to write back to him the Napoleon quote: when your enemy is making mistakes, don't interrupt them.
Don't even. You're right.
Yeah, their show, hilarious. Between Hackamania and you being on there, I can't stop collecting wins from that show. Why would I go on it? They're doing my PR for me.